Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to the Skydome Arena here in Coventry at tonight's Challenge Cup fixture between the Jardine Casino Coventry Blaze and the Cardiff Devils. I'm Ed Kimberley, joined by Stu Coles, and you're watching all of tonight's game live on Blaze TV. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do so via Twitter at Blaze TV Live is the handle to use. Stu, the Cardiff Devils and the Coventry Blaze both losing last night. A bit of a surprise loss for the visitors who hosted the Glasgow Clan. Came off the back of a 6-2 loss. The Blaze losing against the Five Flyers, but in 5. Both teams naturally want to rebound tonight.
Both teams are going to be looking to use this cup fixture as a way of getting their momentum back, going back again. Like you say, losing on the road to 5 for the Blaze, maybe not a massive surprise in the world, but you know, there was a close game the week before. There was potential, but like you say, a bit of an upset last night for the Devils, and they conceded quite a few. A 6-2 loss at home is very uncharacteristic for the Devils, and so they're going to be very much looking to try and bounce back this evening.
Yep, absolutely. And let's go through quickly through the roster news as well, because some teams have changes.
Yeah, indeed. So the Cardiff Devils tonight, they scratch number 25 Blair Riley, number 88 Joey Martin, and netminder Ben Bounds is the starting netminder this evening. For the Blaze, they scratch number 8 Ollie Lord and number 20 Dylan Eichstad. David Broll is back in the lineup from last weekend, and Jamie Phillips is the starting netminder.
Yeah, Jamie Phillips got pulled after only 20 minutes last night against the Five Flyers, shipping 4 on...
shipping four goals in the period and 3 in the last 5 minutes.
Yes. Jordan Headley in relief had a 93 save percentage, only shipped 1.
Yeah, it's got to be said, as well as, you know, Headley played pretty well. The Blaze, I think, had a bit of a talking to from Danny Stewart in that first intermission break, and they tightened up a bit defensively. If you look at the shots, you know, there was a lot more from the perimeter and a lot less from in those critical areas.
Yeah, and the thing is, the Blaze on a 4-game losing skid now, and all 4 of those games, the first 20 minutes have been their undoing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, if you're an away fan, you get stuck in traffic, you come into the Skydome Arena, and you miss the first 20 minutes, you're going to miss a lot of away team goals. That's how it has stood so far.
Yeah, the Blaze have got to get over this sort of slow starting mantra that they seem to have slipped into and really come out firing, because you know absolutely that the Cardiff Devils are going to come out all guns blazing.
Yeah, and that was exactly the point I was going to make. Yeah, Andrew Lord is going to have lit a fire under the Cardiff Devils after a home loss against Glasgow in the manner that they lost last night. So that first few shifts, that first 20 minutes, the Blaze are really going to have to find a way to crack that habit that they've slumped into. Otherwise, it's going to be a very long, but also at the same time a very short night for Danny Stewart's men.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the plus side, though, they have found pockets of scoring and guys who are scoring quite a lot throughout the lineup.
Yeah, there are some guys that, you know, in all competitions. Yanni Larkinen is 8 points in 5 games. Charles Corcoran, Evan Bludoff, and Andrew Johnston are all a point a game forwards for the Blaze this year. So it's not that they've not been getting the points on the board, it's that they have been shipping a few too early and have put them into a position where they then have struggled for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, and just in my opinion, they're 2 goals away from being in games every game. Yeah, and it's 1 on either side of the column. It's 1 in the goals against column and 1 in the goals for column. They even that out, and it's going to be a very competitive Blaze team. It's early days, you don't win the title at the beginning of the year, but you do lose it. Blaze, realistically, not league title winning contenders, but they have to find a way to get into good habits and be a dark horse.
Be a dark horse, and competitions like this, the Cup, you know, where they can, you know, this is a competition that the Blaze really should be targeting as a chance of success, because certainly within the Elite League, they really do have a chance of winning, you know, on any given night, as does any team in the league. If you put a bit of a run together in a cup, you can go well.
Yes, we're going to have a minute's applause to remember Ben, the Coventry Blaze, going for gold today. A charity to support him, and a very good turnout as a result. There's a lot of gold trim around the rink. I believe that all the chucker pucks, or skipper puck as it's now known, are all spray painted gold.
Yeah, the pucks have been spray painted gold, including the one that was just dropped on the ice. So, an impeccably observed minute's applause. Tom Perring and Tom Darnell are the referees this evening. Been a while since we've seen Tom Darnell at the Skydome Arena. I think we saw him once in pre-season, but Stephen Hogarth's been here a lot. Mr. Perring's been here a couple of times. And the Coventry Blaze in their black Challenge Cup jerseys.
been a while since the Blaze have worn black. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Stu, but the last time they had a black jersey was the treble-winning season.
Yeah, it was. It's been a couple of years now since the black. It's always a very popular jersey here.
So we are a couple of minutes away from the national anthem, so we're going to go quiet for that, and then we'll be bringing you all of the action from tonight's main event. Gentlemen, to those who are just joining us, welcome to the Skydome Arena here in Coventry ahead of tonight's Challenge Cup fixture between the Genting Casino Coventry Blaze and the Cardiff Devils. I'm Ed Kimberley. Stu Coles joins me, and we're bringing you all of the action from tonight's game live, as always, on Blaze TV. Stu, before the minutes applause for going for goal for Ben and the national anthems, you were talking about the Challenge Cup and why this could be a book in the trend for the Coventry Blaze this year.
Yeah. They really need to seize the opportunity in the Challenge Cup and start making inroads, getting to the quarterfinals, qualifying and getting into the semi-finals, really trying to make a dent on a tournament where, you know, that not only for momentum implications, there's financial implications by having the extra home games that brings in extra fans, a bit of positive atmosphere around the club. So this is really key, and there's the opportunity this year as well, because of the way that the tournament is structured, is that the Blaze almost have an out from the group stages, in that even if they finish bottom of the group, there's still a one-game playoff that will allow them to get into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, but realistically, you know, early on, it's always been the Blaze shortfall. They don't want to be relying on the out. Use the Challenge Cup games, like you said earlier, to build momentum, to get some wins. It's exactly the same as pre-season. Yeah, you're trying to, you know, get a feel for everybody who shares the ice pad with you, get a feel for what the other teams are going to be like, but also to you know, to build some momentum. So the Blaze are starting as a change to the program. Charles Corcoran, Evan Bludoff and Johnny Curran, the starting forwards. And for the Cardiff Devils, they go as planned with Matthias Sointu, Stephen Dixon and Sean Bentivolio, with Ben Bounds and Jamie Phillips in net, as you said earlier, Stu.
Yeah, it's a change to the lines for Danny Stewart. They've switched things around. It had been Luke Ferrara on the right wing of that line previously, but they've moved things around, so giving Johnny Curran a chance, maybe see if Luke Ferrara can get something going on a different line as well.
Yes, and as was kind of my point, they are 2 goals away.
Yeah.
And with, you know, David Broad's been in and out of the lineup with injury, there's no Dylan Eichstadt tonight, there will be holes that they have to fill. And, you know, it's up to the likes of Alex Forbes and Ross Venus to challenge, you know, the top 9 for ice time and to slot in and you know, take crucial minutes when they can.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as well, it goes back to something that Danny Stewart said a lot in pre-season, in that the lines are equal. You know, there isn't really a first, second, third. So, you know, he's trying to balance it out. He's trying to get scoring across all lines. So if he moves a player around, it's because he thinks he might get more out of both.
That's true. Mr. Blaze get themselves underway with the opening draw win. Johnny Curran sends that one ahead of Bludoff, backhands it away. Corcoran was behind him. Hashi gets tripped, and the Blaze will get their first power play of the night 11 seconds in. That's not a bad start for the home team.
That's exactly what the Blaze wanted to happen, and we'll see. We'll get a better look at that just a moment. That's it. As the play develops on the right-hand side, nice back pass from Curran to Bludoff. He then tries to find Corcoran, and it's just right at the end there we see Hashi just kind of spinning around, the stick and the skate all got tangled up.
Yes, the Blaze will get themselves a opening power play. Hooking is the call, as Jamie Phillips comes out to collect. It was Sointu given the penalty, the Finn. I would say a mid-season edition. I like to use that phrase, but an early season edition for the Cardiff Devils. Comes highly recommended from Massimari Yamaki, his countryman. The tall finish number 15, who will feature at some point tonight. Looked very impressive in warm-up. Our first glimpse of him here at the Skydome Arena. Very tall, kind of a long player. Has very long limbs, very noticeable, very skilled, and looks effortless out there. As he's out there now on the penalty kill, in fact, as Ferrara brings this puck north, sends it ahead of Corcoran. Try to drop it off. The puck was picked up by the Devils' penalty killer and sent north for Jamie Phillips to collect. And as the Blaze will be looking for a rebound tonight, I think he will too. No one likes to be yanked after the first 20 minutes.
No, absolutely not. He'll want to establish himself back in the net, make sure that he puts in a solid performance for the full 60.
Yeah, puck sent behind Johnny Curran on the breakout. That's one thing Danny Stewart was talking about. The Blaze need to establish their transition game early in games in general, as that's been an area of particular misfire for them over the last couple of weeks, as Matt Myers will happily clear that one. Justin Hashey collects, sends a quick pass to the left wing side. Johnny Curran, some space on Matt Polkamp in the slot. Puck doesn't arrive for him, and Matthew Myers touches that ahead of Sam Duggan. And the Devils killing more and more of this power play for the Blaze, and with 15 seconds left, yeah, Ben Bounds has not had to touch the puck as Hamonic, fresh off the bench, contests with Myers. Some calls for too many men on the ice against the Blaze, but they've got away with that and will come forward. Johnston bats the puck out of the air, falls behind Curran. He leans on Duggan, and a comfortable save for Bounds in the chest from Hashey. And a very fragmented first 2 minutes on the power play for the Blaze.
Yeah, very fragmented, didn't really settle in. Some of the players' first shifts on the ice, not ideal to be going into a power play situation at that point. You want to get a couple of shifts under your belt really before you kind of try and take advantage. You've got to deal with it and take the man advantage when they come. But
I think if you're if you come off the back of a say the Blaze are on a 4-game winning streak rather than a 4-game losing streak, I think it would be the opposite. I think they're settled in, they have their rhythm, they'll be feeling good off the bat with the power play. But when you're losing games, you want to shift, to take a bump, give a bump, get settled in, and as the Blaze are perennial slow starters, I feel like that's how they would have wanted to start. But look, you're not going to throw away a power play opportunity if it's sent your way. As that one wider bounds, sticks it into the corner, and the Devils able to clear. And it's no nonsense from the Cardiff Devils again. See, as soon as they got the puck on the penalty kill, they were getting it north there. When it was a little bit scrappy from both teams in terms of their shape, north it went as Coventry bring this puck along the line. Schistel ahead of Polkamp. Matt Pope pokes along the boards. Sam Jardine, who won the Cali Cup last year in the Newfoundland Growlers organisation, won a Cali Cup a couple of years before that with the Colorado Eagles, which was a very, very good franchise that year. Puck ends up behind the goal line. Janne Laakkonen will pick it up, send it to the half wall. Ends up in the corner, just ahead of Polkamp, who throws a bump. The Devils able to escape with Joey Haddad. He gets bumped by Chris Polkamp. And the Devils are on a line change in Coventry. Will try and utilise the space to break out. Matt Polkamp has space north. Ends up getting dropped off to Johnston. Hit into the boards by Mark Richardson. At least on 48. In there too. Led the Elite League in plus minus last year, plus 52. Yep, you read that right. Plus 52, and that's a computer game stat on rookie mode, which if I pick up an NHL game, it usually is. That one sent north by the Devils, comes off a glove, and Longley can bring it wide into the zone. He spins away from the check, skates into Bludoff, who's trying to poke that one free. Richardson keeps it moving. Cardiff have done well to keep this in the offensive zone. It was a little scrappy from both sides, and Corcoran will try and get this north. He does, and Bludoff is going to chase this with Dixon. A battle won by the Devils, and Chris Polkamp trying to win that battle away from Mario Maki, the first-year pro against the seasoned vet, the Finn, who's very, very experienced indeed. One of the big appeals for him in Andrew Lord's summer recruitment, as long as chipped in. Johnny Curran chasing with Richardson. Picks that puck up comfortably. As the Blaze run a change, it looks like he can get some space behind his own net. 5 minutes already having gone. Both teams thought they'd struggled to settle in fluidly here. As the Devils chip that one in. Bump comes in. Ferrara will get this one ahead of Lawrence. Lawrence showing some good speed. Puck ends up falling for Brohl. He will wrist one on the blocker. Rebound comes out. Schistel has it. Drives one off the crossbar from the captain. Clements will hammer one towards net. Puck is still there. Blaze have drawn a penalty as then Lawrence wraps one towards goal again. And the Blaze suddenly have come to life. Schistel pulls it up. A one-timer, gloved by Bounds, and the whistle went. And that's created a little bit of noise from the sparsely populated Skydome Arena.
A little bit of noise there. Matthew Myers there is going to go off. 2 minutes for hooking. It's going to be the call for this one.
Yeah, and that's so much better from the Blaze. I think they could have exercised a little bit more patience. Shistel shoots that one-timer right off the front foot. Like, Cardiff fans will know as well as we do. Drew Shistel likes to get that puck on at every opportunity. But when you're on 6-on-5, what's the worst that could happen? Play it around a little bit, get some space. You're essentially practicing the power play that's going to come. You know, you can use a similar system. The Blaze like to move it around the top a lot with traffic in front. They could have done that there. But they will win the offensive zone draw, and they'll go to work. Corcoran down into the corner, gets it back at the half wall. He steps in. 2 Blaze bodies in front of the net. Shistel shovels it along for Ferrara, harassed by Bentivolio, who takes that puck from the young Brit. Slows his stride to allow Dixon to come and support him if they can get a short-handed chance on net, but sensibly, number 85 backs out. It's chipped in by Richardson. A little bit too much of a scoop into the netting, and there will be a face-off in the neutral zone to Ben Bounds' side.
Not quite the play that Richardson had intended, but ultimately reasonably effective as it allows them to take a bit of a breather. They don't have a defensive zone face-off either, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
No, if he was a couple of strides back, though, that would have ended up being a delay of game for shooting the puck over the glass. I remember Brad Zanon did that for the Blaze a few seasons, well, quite a few seasons back now, on the penalty kill. Hit a slap shot from his own zone, and it ended up going in the netting above the netminder's head. I think Mario Marchi
We're just going to
might be going to the bench here just for shooting the puck over the glass, as we were telling the story.
Indeed, it's going to be a 2-minute minor for delay of game. Now that puck was straight over the top.
Well, I thought it was Mario Marchi, but it's Jardine who's heading to the box. And this is a huge opportunity for the Blaze. 5-on-3, 1 minute 26 of it. And they had 2 power play goals last night as well, Stu, so they'll be licking their lips here, having finally settled into this game. Here's Ferrara shooting quickly off the pads of Richardson. That falls alongside the boards. And Coventry are set up in the zone. Shistel fakes the one-time, and now he'll hit one. Oh, he fanned it quite badly. And the Devils are able to send that puck north. And again, a little bit of patience.
Just a little bit of patience, try and work that opportunity. 5-on-3, you could, particularly when you've got 1 minute 26, you've got time to create the opportunity.
As Corcoran will pull up. Shistel picks it up, the left-sided shooter, to the hash marks. Gets it back. Corcoran thought about the one-timer. Shistel shooting off the post, off the netminder, and somehow not in. That's twice the Blaze have hit iron inside 7 minutes. It's Shistel again. Larkinen off the leg of Mark Lewis. Corcoran. Back to Ferrara. Corcoran again. 25 seconds of 5-on-3 for the Blaze. Shistel. Corcoran. Shistel again shooting. Blocked on the way through, I think, off Bludoff. Blaze still have the puck in the offensive zone. Shistel again. Everything running through Drew Shistel here. Through to Larkinen. One-timer from Ferrara, wide of the net. Shistel picks up the rebound. 5 seconds of 5-on-3. Somehow the Devils have survived this. Ferrara. Corcoran shooting. Good save off the arm of Bounds. Whistle goes. And there'll be a face-off in the neutral zone as I think Bludoff had caught Bounds in the crease. Oh, that was a good power play so far from the Blaze.
Yeah, there's some nice puck movement there. Managing to create a couple of really good opportunities for Shistel and Corcoran there right at the end. Blaze having a word with the referees. I think they might want to be going back and check it, seeing if they check it.
Yeah.
Certainly that's the...
Well, they're not.
Well, no, Shistel's been told to go and talk to the other referee.
Yeah.
I think the referees are quite clear that it didn't go in.
Well, I mean, usually, if you know, you know. There's that big goal.
Yeah, no, they're going to check it.
Well, they might as well, right?
Yeah, they've got the technology, so you may as well use it. I have, from my perspective, I thought it went in. I didn't hear a clang. There was no sound at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I assumed from the trajectory that it came off. It looked like it hit the iron, but yeah, you're quite right, Stu. No telltale ting.
We have to wait and see. I mean, there wasn't much of a... there wasn't much of a cheer from the Blaze players on the ice. Shistel had his arms raised, but other than that, there wasn't really much of a reaction from everybody else, and that's the telltale sign for me.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, Johnny Curran sends a D2D pass with Hashi. He dumps in very heavy for Matt Polkamp to chase, and the Blaze are able to pick it up. Curran shoots, God save, and the rebound is there, but Ben Bounds has got it. David Brawl was spinning, waiting, and if he was a couple of seconds quicker, he might have ended up with that one on his stick in the back of the net. This is a big chance from Curran and a very good save from Bounds.
Yeah, it's a good pickoff as well. He's realised that the Devils are trying to play it straight up the middle of the ice when they're clearing it. So he's come in, he's picked that puck up, taken a step, and just shot it straight at Bounds and nearly Brawl for the rebound.
Yeah, here's Curran again. Looking to send that one. Oh, he tried to sneak it out in front, short side. Blaze keeping in the offensive zone through Hashi, although he's under a lot of pressure from Haddad. Johnston guides it along the line. Polkamp swamped, and the Devils able to clear just as they come back to full strength. And that was a pretty good penalty kill shift from them, it has to be said. Johnny Curran nearly finding the twine there. Scored his first professional goal last night.
Certainly did, and he's been a good start for the Blaze.
Yeah, quick. He skates very well. Seems to see the ice pretty well. Not the biggest of fellas, but that's not his game, so that's not too much of a concern as that one ends up in the corner. A bump from Dylan Lawrence in there. That puck comes free. Venus will shoot. Saved by Bounds off the blocker. As that one ends up in the net front, and again grabbed by the netminder. Good little net front battle there between Fournier and Lawrence. A bit of a size mismatch. Fournier's not the smallest of chaps, but you know Lawrence is long, and it's quite easy when you're that size, and you can kind of roll off players and use your size, use your legs to use a little bit of leverage.
Yeah, Fournier got good position as well. He maintained the position between the netminder and the goal and Dylan Lawrence, and made sure that Lawrence really had to have his back towards the goal to be able to do anything.
Yeah, as Ross Venus will send that one again to the net front area. Eludes everybody. Matthias Sointu will try and throw that one clear, but the Blaze are able to pick it up. And Alex Forbes should get here first. He does. Stamped into the corner by Fournier. Then the Devils will come away with this. Although the Blaze have put some good pressure on them. A missed hit from Alex Forbes, and that will be icing against the Cardiff Devils, who look like they're not firing on all cylinders here.
Yeah, you've got to say that they are missing a couple of key parts.
True.
This evening, if you take from any team in the Elite League the caliber of Blair Riley and Joey Martin out of the lineup, you are going to have a bit of a readjustment and a settling in period. Yeah. So they may still be just trying to work out a few bumps, because they don't look bad.
No, they don't.
But you're right, they don't look like currently the Cardiff Devils that have been firing on all cylinders for the past 2-3 seasons.
And bear in mind too, of course, they have spent half of this period short-handed so far.
Yes.
As that one will be cleared out by McGonigal. And the Devils change as the Blaze will chip that one in, and Bludov can chase. Jardine out to collect. Deceptively big figure, Sam Jardine. Watching him in warm-up, who undoubtedly uses that size when it's needed, as Johnny Curran sends a lovely pass to Bludov. He shoots, great save by Bounds. Evan Bludov robbed. He's got the hot hand for the Blaze at the minute. Halfway through this period, let's look again.
Play from Coronet. He spots out that Jardine's been caught into the centre, so feeds it into Bludov, who then just puts it onto his forehand and tries to go low down blocker side, finds the pillow. Good save from Bounce. Nice reaction there.
And we were just talking about Johnny Curran, and that's the IQ, a quite crafty little backhand saucer pass, kept it flat, and put it in a nice area for Bludov, a little ahead of him, but he had the opportunity to get the Blaze in the lead, but again denied by Ben Bounds. And the net minding from the Team Great Britain starting goalie has just shown why he's got back-to-back most wins in the Elite League, and he had the most shutouts last year as well with 8, which is no mean feat either.
An all-round solid defensive organisation who've managed to mix in that bit of skill and the defensive stability. Yeah,
absolutely. And they're built from the back out. Ben Bounds is a terrific netminder. He shone at the World Championships this summer against the big boys. He didn't flinch as Matt Polkamp will spin and pick this one back up. Hamannik finds Hashi. Drops the head of Janne Larkinen, who somehow ends up back with the puck on his stick, although he was scrambling around for it, and the Devils are able to clear. Pope gets poke checked, and there's some space for the Blaze to skate into. Larkinen. Oh, his pass was behind Chris Polkamp. Matt Polkamp arrives. Sends it behind the goal line. Johnston heads to the slot. Picks it up under pressure. Still has it though, Andrew Johnston. Clements on the backhand. Tries to dipsy-doodle around Josh Batch, and that one cleared by the Devils. And I imagine that will be icing, and it is. Let's go to Twitter, Stu.
Indeed, and Twitter, hi to the Caldwells. Malcolm has tweeted in this evening. He said, good evening. Should be interesting tonight. Net mining is the key. But it says goal scoring is possibly a problem for the Blaze in the past few games.
Net mining.
Maybe net mining for the Blaze, perhaps.
Yeah.
I think it's probably defense. The keys are the defense for the Blaze and the offense of the Devils.
Very astute, I think. You know, I think Jamie Phillips has taken a little bit of time, more time than he would like to have settled in. I mean, yeah, a couple against Fife. You look back in the highlight package, you don't wanted those back. I must admit, I only got back into the Midlands an hour before face-offs from Glasgow, so I haven't seen the highlights of the Blaze Flyers game from last night. But we'll see. There's that one chipped in ahead of Dylan Lawrence. Stamped into the backboards. And the Devils able to pick that puck up. And now they have some space to work. And this is where Cardiff are a very tricky customer. They've chipped it in on the net mind, and an offensive zone face-off isn't a bad return.
Yeah, I mean, really, they almost a kind of a hopeful chip forward, and then pressure from one forward on the forecheck, and they've managed to generate an offensive zone face-off from it. So it's a good bit of play there. Yeah,
they put Duggan, Haddad, and Maria Maki up there. Mark Lewis and Sean McMonagle at the back end. Plays out there with the Johnny Curran trio, which sounds like a good band, actually. Maybe jazz or some kind of soul or funk. Maybe he does weddings, I don't know. Hit comes in the corner on Chris Polkamp. Cardiff still have it in the offensive zone. Haddad will try and play that one. Blaze take it away. Comes off a body as Haddad in the way. Devil send this behind the net. Duggan tried to spin off Chris Polkamp, and Corcoran tried to clear the zone. Didn't get out. And here's Haddad. Some good pressure from the Devils here, but Monagle shoots off Johnny Curran's stick on the way through. Ashley throws a good hit on Duggan. Haddad again. Drops that off and eludes the stick of Maria Maki, and Coventry should get out of danger here. They do, and trying to mount an attack. Fludoff gets poke checked as tries to retain possession for Coventry, which he has. Corcoran across the line, hard shot into the net from Hamonic! It's hammer time! And the Blaze have got a lead from Justin Hamonic. A hard one-timer, and just a split second of him pausing and waiting. And he guides that block aside on bounds. Great finish.
Comes out, takes an extra couple of steps to get the right angle onto the left-hand side. But Corcoran there spots him well. You see as he picks the puck up, he gets his head up, he sees that Hamonic is coming across and just opens up the body to make sure he can get that pass right in the wheelhouse of Justin Hamonic. And then, like you say, hammers it home.
Yeah, and it was a really soft feed as well. You know, he allowed the big defenseman to, like you said, get his body set, get his legs apart, watch it, bang. Great finish, great release from the big man. And that's something that, you know, Hamonic was sold on. Yeah, he's a big guy, he's defense first, but he can shoot the puck. And, you know, he shows that there as Johnston brings it across the line. Gets it from Larkin, and he fanned on the release, though, Johnston. David Clements gloves it down in the neutral zone. Sends it ahead of Matt Polkamp. Oh, a bit of a volley from Ben Bounds. I only expected that one to shoot up off the boards. Long lay with a nice feed. McNamee tries to get round David Clements. Big hit comes into the corner from Clemo, and the Blaze will come out of the zone with the puck. Fournier strips it straight back. Dixon's got some space down this left-hand side. He gets the puck. Oh, and a good save from Phillips. His first biggie of the night so far. And what a biggie it was. Right after scoring, the Blaze avoid conceding, which has been a habit of theirs as well, Stuart, must be said. Coventry clear. That'll be icing. And Andrew Lord will be very pleased that the Devils were able to respond straight away with a grade A scoring chance for Stephen Dixon.
Grade A scoring chance indeed. Great lateral movement from Jamie Phillips, coming across, getting the pads in the way and making that big stop.
Yeah, and it was very big. And that's when having that kind of size comes in handy. it goes without saying, it just takes away a lot of the target. And, you know, Dixon's a guy that knows how to score. You know, he's played in a lot of the elite leagues around Europe. You know, the Finnish league, DL. Heck, he's even been on Spittin' Chicklets with Paul Bisson and Mr. Whitney. Yeah, I've heard that episode. It was kind of fun. I like that podcast. That one's dumped in. The linesmen say onside. Everybody wearing blue in this arena. It says offside. But the ones with the stripes and the whistles, their opinion counts the most as Alex Forbes fights around Jardine. Gets the puck. Nice play from the Scotsman. Backhands it to the goal line. Fancy from Forbes. And Venus couldn't do what he wanted to with it. Reddick throws a nice bump into the corner. And the Devils take it back. And they clear as far as Drew Shistel. Forbes chips that in. Poked into the corner from Myers. Myers gets bumped by Alex Forbes. Good play from him on this shift. Very, very good. So we approach the 5 minutes to go in this period. Chipped in by Josh Batch. Dylan Lawrence puts his hip into his backside and an awkward career off the boards. Sees the Devils offside. And we'll have a stoppage.
First goal for the Coventry Blaze, timed at 12 minutes and 43 seconds, scored by number 22, Justin Hamonic, assisted, announced in the arena, by number 10, Evan Bludoff, and number 59, Ross Venus. That's getting changed.
Yes, indeed. Hey, if in doubt, put someone down, right?
Yeah.
That's what they do, really.
Charles Corcoran is going to get the primary assist on that goal when they review it later on.
Yeah. I think Bludoff should get an assist because he tied up the man on the half wall initially.
I think it should be 22 from 88 and 10.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it was actually quite a nice play from Bludoff because he got slammed into the boards. He's able to maintain the zone and possession. And the Blaze are able to score, a couple of seconds later. If he gives up on that, it's still a 0-0 game for all intents and purposes. Josh Batch in the corner finds Duggan. He's stripped by Lawrence, who couldn't fight around Monagle. Puck's still there, though, for Coventry. If they want it, they do. Ferrara pulls eye, got poke checked. Just as Dylan Lawrence was arriving back into action, and David Broll can mop up in his own zone. He fans his pass. No danger, though, as Bounds will block that one into the corner, as scripted by his pre-game ritual with Mark Richardson, where he feathers a couple of soft ones on his blocker to allow him to practice guiding the rebound into the corner. Yes, Mark, we noticed.
Indeed. Some scores from around the league. Every team in the league is in action this evening. All of the other games are in the Elite League. This is the only cup game that's going on. So we have Belfast Giants 1, Nottingham Panthers 0 at 2 minutes into the third period. The good weekend for the Glasgow Clan continues. It's Sheffield 1, Glasgow 4, 6 minutes into the third there. And the Dundee Stars are 2-0 ahead of the Manchester Storm. Just started the second period.
Yeah. I was going to say, was it that I was in Glasgow that they got some... And how's about this for a coincidence, right? So we turned up at an Airbnb. I was up there for a wedding. And talk about not being able to get away from hockey. The Blaze nearly couldn't get away from being in the lead in this game. We walk into this Airbnb about an hour away from Glasgow, and I walk into the spare room, and there's a signed, framed, game-worn Brayhead Clan jersey for Garrett Zemlak, and I think it was a breast cancer awareness thing. Even away from hockey for a night, I couldn't get away from hockey for a night.
Just can't, just finds its way, gets everywhere.
How's that for a coincidence, right? Anyway, face off to the right of Jamie Phillips. Pucks in out into the neutral zone. Corcoran ahead of Curran. Chance maybe for Johnny Curran, shooting blocked off the defenseman. Richardson did what he needed to do. David Clements has a chance here. He shoots, tipped in front, and over into the netting is Evan Bludoff. Oh, he has a big smile on his face. He knows he came very close to making this a 2-0 hockey game. Let's look again.
Very close. Clements comes in, takes the shot, and then Bludoff gets his stick in there, just directs it slightly up, slightly wide of the net. But those tips, they can go anywhere at that stage.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can get something on it, then great.
Yeah, Ben Bounds is going to stop the original, right? It's muffin from the blue line, but he's not looking for the net on his effort. He's looking for the extra man arriving. And when Bludoff's playing with a smile on his face like that, that's a very, very good sign. That's how, the other 19 Blaze players on the ice have got to be executing their business tonight. That one's up behind the net. The Devils are trying to work this to the net front area. Jardine with a hard pass. Shot comes in, blocked on the way through. And away come the Blaze again. Matt Polkamp. Oh, a 2-on-1 maybe, with Hashi arriving at the net. He's yanked down, and there'll be a penalty against McNamee, you feel. Big look from the Blaze. Big hook from McNamee. This is Chris Polkamp. Larkinen sent it through. Johnston will pick this up in the neutral zone. Trying to prevent that one being picked up by Longley. Coventry are going to show some patience here, Stu, and exercise a little bit of 6-on-5 with 2.5 minutes remaining in the first period. David Broll spinning around, waiting for everybody to change. He enters the zone, gets his stick lifted, and Mike McNamee is near the penalty box, and he will go and sit 2 for hooking. And that was a great chance again from the Blaze.
Very good chance from the Blaze. Worked really from nothing, because all of a sudden Johnny Curran appears down the right-hand wing, and it's like a 2-on-1 breakaway. That penalty's actually going to be called for slashing. It looked very much like a hook, but it matters not. It was a penalty. Yeah,
it's like ice cream. The flavour's irrelevant. Ice cream is ice cream. And the Blaze will go back on the power play. And so far, they've not scored on the power play, but they've really made Ben Bounds earn his paycheck. As Drew Schistel can get this at the half wall. Hangs on, drops it off. Larkinen's trying to keep this away from the Devils. Corcoran on the attempted clear. Here's Ferrara shooting, gets a rebound, the score! Blaze have 2, it's Bludoff! And the scoring streak for him continues. And a Coventry Blaze, a 2 to the good. And that is just what the doctor ordered. Perennial slow starters have come racing out the gate tonight.
Nice end to the power play up here for the Blaze. Ferrara gets a shot on, comes up bounds, but gives up the rebound. And Evan Bludoff, he's right there on the back door, just taps it in.
Yeah, the right side of defence there. I didn't see who it was, excuse me, Stu. Gets caught a little high. Bludoff sneaks in behind, and that rebound is just like a PlayStation at Christmas for Evan Bludoff. He can't wait to unwrap it, and he puts the puck in the back of the net. As the Devils will chip that one in. Forbes will bring that one around. Fournier and the linesman collide, and that puck comes free for Coventry. Entering the zone is Schistel. He has Lawrence heading to the net, shoots himself. Dylan Lawrence on the rebound. I have no idea where it is, but it's in Ben Bounds' equipment somewhere. And the Blaze are doing all the right things in transition. Again, like the Hashi moment earlier where he drew the penalty, Lawrence heads to the net front, a puck gets feathered in that general vicinity, it causes a bit of confusion, and the Blaze are really rocking and rolling here.
The puck actually landed on the top of the net.
Okay. I saw the black top of the water bottle, I thought that's what that was, maybe it was the puck as well. But again, the Blaze come close. And it just takes that, looping puck over onto the top of the net to be 6 inches lower, and that's in the back of the net.
Second goal for the Coventry Blaze, timed at 17 minutes and 54 seconds, scored by number 10, Evan Bludoff, assisted by number 19, Luke Ferrara, and number 88, Charles Corcoran.
Yeah, and that should be a 2-point night for both Corcoran and Bludoff now.
Yeah.
So something seems to be clicking between those two.
They have been paired fairly consistently on forward lines. I know that was a power play goal, but they've been working on the same power play unit on the same forward lines.
Yeah, and whereas Corcoran, I think he had 19 goals last year. The primary source of his point totals were assists, as the contentious icing is called. As I'm now feeling very much like I need to get the spot on stat line for Corcoran, which I'm going to dig out if you'll excuse me. Yeah. 16 goals, 36 assists, and 52 points. But 16 goals.
Kind of what you'd expect from a centre. They're always going to be a bit more creative, try and find and create the assist. But he had a good eye for goal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And he does have a good eye for net. He has very good hands. Similar in a case with Bludoff, that he's good at just kind of sniffing out those loose ones around the net. But a lot of them were kind of on breakaways, odd man rushes, and that's kind of how Dundee like to play it, right? So it suits him down to a T. But very much a two-way centre. Out of the University of Brown, where Jordan Petrus went to, the former Blaze captain, whose birthday was yesterday. As the Blaze will come out into the neutral zone. Bludoff. He gets that one poked off his stick by Reddick. Bludoff is able to pull up, he drops it off. Bump comes in from Corcoran with Matt Polkamp lurking. Devils find that one come off an ankle of McNamee. Matt Polkamp enters the zone. Gets hit by Reddick. Puck still there, and the Devils able to clear this one off the glass. Chris Polkamp sends that quickly north. Matt Polkamp touches it. He's got Johnston in front. He shoots himself, saved by Bounds. And while the Devils caught on a bit of a duff change there, the the clearance was kind of feathered soft, and Chris Polkamp turned it straight back around.
Yeah, very good turnaround. You've got Andrew Johnston in prime position, but look at the trailer there. There's got Yanni Larkinen on the trailer there, and he was a great opportunity to hit that trailer on the one-timer.
Yeah, and I think, Matt Polkamp's hungry to get some points on the board.
For sure. He's got an assist on the season, but we'll obviously want a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chris Polkamp picks that one up, sends that one to the net front also. Ends up in the neutral zone. Ashley chips it back in. 5 seconds to go in the period. And it's been a very good period for the home team. They're 2-0 up, and, objective number one for Danny Stewart would have been, it doesn't matter really necessarily what the scoreline is as long as it's close, but don't start slow. Whatever you do, come out, get a couple of shots on goal, get your feet under you. If you are slow in this game to start, the Cardiff Devils will swamp you early. Yeah. And they've flipped the script on its head, and that's good for the home team.
Flipped the script. The Cardiff Devils taken a few minors. They've had 4 minor penalties in the period, so they've spent a bit of time, about 7.5 minutes or so in total on the penalty kill, which is not ideal to get yourself into a rhythm. But you're right, Danny Stewart's goals for this period would have been, don't start slow and win the period.
Yeah.
If we concede one, okay, but let's score 2. Let's win the period. Let's at least get 20 minutes of solid winning hockey on home ice in the books, and let's use that to build a platform.
If you're Andrew Lord, however, you would have come into that, and we said this before the game started. They've come off the back. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Skydome Arena here in Coventry, ahead of the second period of tonight's Challenge Cup fixture between the Genting Casino, Coventry Blaze and the Cardiff Devils. 2-0 to the home team after the first frame, and on the balance of things too, I think that's probably a fair result after the first 20 minutes.
I think it's a fair result. The Blaze had a bit more power play time. They probably had slightly more grade A chances.
Yep.
If the ones that fell to them. I'm pulling up the shots from the first period now as we speak, seeing where we're at. There were 3 shots on Jamie Phillips and 16 on Ben Bowles. I mean, I don't think it was that one-sided, but
no, I didn't think either. But we've said this a couple of times in Blaze games of recent. But hey, look, if that stat line is going to be spread out throughout the rest of this game, 33% of the Cardiff Devils scoring chances are going to be grade A.
Yeah,
and that's not too bad. But they'll want to have more than 3 shots in this period. But as we said at the end of the first, they've got to start by staying out the box.
They've got to start by staying out the box. It disrupts their rhythm. I mean, it tires out your top players, who are typically guys who are going to be on the penalty kill. So you want to make sure that you kind of get that thing going. You get 4 or 5 minutes at the start of the period, stay out of the box.
Yep.
You can get a good 2-3 shifts where you get to run all your lines, everybody gets in, and then you can start building.
Yeah, a couple of hellos. A big hello to Sam Motton watching at home. Sam, one of the best skaters I know. I'm hoping to try and get some free lessons at some point. A big hello to the rink manager, Chris Carpenter. 35 degrees in the shade in the Dominican Republic with the webcast full blast. Being considerate to the other guests, I like to see Chris, which is great. And also keeping an eye on his staff from afar, which I thought was interesting. I hope you're having a good holiday, buddy, and we'll see you soon, no doubt, as the Devils straight to business here in the second period. Bump comes in on Mario Maki from Hamonic, who scored that bomb of a one-timer in the first. Puck ends up in the corner. Dixon fighting it free. Corcoran will chip that one off the glass ahead of Bludoff to chase, who wins that race. Oh, he's got around Mark Lewis as well. Bludoff on the wraparound, and a save from Bounds. Rebound squirted out. Bentivolio picked it up on his own blue line, and both teams will change as Richardson takes that one in behind the net to allow the forwards to interchange. The Blaze have got a whole unit out there as Cardiff look to enter the offensive zone. Haddad got just ahead of him and cleared by Hamonic. I think that'll probably be icing. It is, and we'll have our first stoppage of the second period. Bang on a minute into it.
And a bit more productivity from the Cardiff Devils, generating a bit of face-off. They've controlled the puck well for the first minute or so. There's been a bit of an incursion from the Blaze into the Devils' defensive zone, but otherwise the Devils have started well. Yeah, a couple of nice forays into the offensive zone for them, and that's really where they'll want to try and spend the majority of this period, if at all possible. Get themselves, like you said, a couple of power plays. That always is a good momentum builder. But the Blaze have picked that puck up straight away, and they will clear. Cardiff looking just to open up some space. It was some fancy skating from McMonagle. Puck behind the goal line, ends up back with the Devils number 3, the defenseman. McMonagle shooting low. It eluded everybody, eluded the target. But Cardiff are going to have a chance on the wraparound. Phillips makes a save. Puck's still there, jammed away by McNamee. And Coventry charge it into the neutral zone. Matt Polkamp can do much else with it though, and Longlay's going to start things up. Here's Myers, chance in front as a good pass blocked by Chris Polkamp. And Coventry now will get it again out the zone. Again, Matt Polkamp unable to connect with either of his line mates. Chipped in, Chris Polkamp leans on Pope. Bit of a size mismatch. The Blaze end up with the puck. Johnson, that's a nice play from him. Larkinen tried to find Ferrara, and him and Johnston will change as the Devils recollect possession. Lawrence fresh off the bench. Burst of speed from the big guy. Gets possession back for Coventry. A big hit comes in the corner. Clements dropping his lumber. And a trip comes in, and Coventry are going to go on the power play. Luke Ferrara, well, he looked like a curling stone as he got tripped. And again, Sam Jardine will make another trip back to the box. And that's not what the Devils need. Look, they started this period pretty well. It gets a little scrappy. Ferrara is de facto Zamboni.
Coventry back on the PP.
It's Matt Pope who's going to actually.
Oh, Matt Pope, excuse me.
Going to get called, but it just was unfortunate reaching for the puck. Just caught, tangled up a little bit, and ended up being another penalty. In 2 minutes 18 into the second period, this is not where the Devils wanted to be.
No, and really that was created by Dylan Lawrence. He came off the bench with a lot of speed. Johnson Larkinen with long strides, and that energy just kind of caught everyone a little bit flat-footed in a red and white jersey as Corcoran finds Schirstel, who mishandles. Corcoran's fought that free though. Really nice play from 88. Schirstel at the point. Ferrara. Big battle taking place in front between Bludoff and Richardson. Bludoff peels out a little bit to get some space. Back to the net front. Corcoran again, one-timer, Schirstel! Oh, wow! One-timer from Schirstel! And the Blaze have a 3-goal lead. Another power play goal. This time it's the skipper. And that is a fantastic finish from him.
Really, really nice power play goal from the Coventry Blaze. Moving it around well, trying to look for the opening. They find Charles Corcoran, who puts it again right in the wheelhouse of the one-timer. This time from Drew Schirstel, from the blue line, back of the net.
Yeah, the captain's contribution. A third assist, or a third point, I should say, sorry, for Corcoran. And it looked like it was a seeing guy shot for Ben Bounds there. There was a little bit of traffic, but I think it was fairly incidental. Didn't take his eyes away. And Coventry really are in the driving seat here, as Lawrence has made a nice play across the line. Ferrara hammers one, big rebound. Brawler's got it. Poked away from his stick. Clements, oh, he found his one-timer. Well, he works on those relentlessly in practice, and back to the drawing board, Clem. He has a little grin. He knows that was a big chance for him. As Lawrence gets a little ugly in the backboards. Puck's still there. Roll throws a bump on Fournier. Haddad will have to chip that one out under the pressure from Hashi. And again, it goes without saying here, Stu, Devils needed to keep it clean. Blaze have a couple power play markers now, and it just kind of impeded their progress that they made in the first couple of shifts of the period, as Fournier will keep this one alive. Clements with a backhander away. Oh, and there might be an odd man rush. There won't be, as Myers picked off the pass. Now Curran will get it in the neutral zone. But he was heading north in a hurry there, Johnny Curran, as he is now. Bludoff in support, as is Corcoran. Pass, I don't think where he intended it, Johnny Curran. It was ahead of his winger, Charlie Corcoran. He picks that puck up. Nice play from him. Off a leg. Ended up in the slot. And the Devils are able to get this at least into the neutral zone. Batch ahead of Duggan. He's bumped by Hamannik. And Bludoff can chip that one in. Yeah, I've just thought 22 and 44, both with the one-timers and multiples of each other. Here's Bentivolio. Soft backhand to the slot. A spinning attempt from Mario Macchi. It was bobbling on him. Bounds out to play this puck with Alex Forbes in tow. Dylan Lawrence reaches a little. Stephen Dixon gets away from him. Drops it off to the wing. Dumped in by Mario Macchi. Stephen Dixon at his reach. Shovels it into the corner. Puck there if Dylan Lawrence can win it. Uses his stick well, but Cardiff have a chance. Shot low, off a leg. Into the corner. Cardiff win it again. This is better from the Devils. A little bit more urgency and hustle on this shift as Richardson breaks in. On the wraparound, a poke check from Hamannik. Came kind of out of nowhere as Phillips was a little slow going post to post. Forbes wins that puck out of the air. Thought he'd drawn a penalty there, Alex Forbes, but not to be, as McNamee comes along with the puck. He has to pull up. Johnston fights it free for the Blaze. Larkinen. Oh, a soft pass ahead of Drew Schirstel, who nearly went behind Jardine. Read it well, the two-time Kelly Cup winner. A lot of time in the American League last year, as well as there's a big chance in front and a poke check save from Phillips. Who looks like he's got a bit of spring in his step tonight as hit comes in from Larkinen. Puck chipped in. Yanni Larkinen still watching this play develop as he tries to get his stick in the shooting lane. Now one squirts past Phillips. Matt Polkamp's able to clear it out. Johnston picks it up. Skating backwards across the line is adjudged to be onside. Ends up in a heap at the feet of Charles Longley. And Coventry under a little bit of pressure again here as the Devils come forward. Myers heads straight to the net, blocked away by the goalie, Phillips. Myers keeping play alive. Shot high into the glove. Phillips. Oh, I thought he was into the glove. Sprang off the glass, maybe. I don't know. Here's Haddad. Maybe just a swipe from Phillips and he didn't sit in the mitt. Myers gets hit hard into the corner. Duggan and Larkin and Chase. It's been a long shift for this Blaze trio of forwards. As Larkin chips it softly ahead of Paul Camp. It came off the referee. 7 minutes having gone in the second. This is a little bit more like the Devils were used to. Relentless on this forecheck. Pope grabs Hashi. Former Memorial Cup winner is able to clear it. And the Devils straight back to action. Dumped in by Pope. It's clock cleaned by Hashi. There's a huge hit came in on Clements from Dixon. Dixon, as a result, will get this puck. He shoots. Saved, I think, by Phillips. Stephen Dixon showing some aggression. It worked well for him. Here's Venus. Gets around Bentivolio. Sends it softly for Brohl. He had his stick taken away by McMonagle. And here come the Devils once again. Pope. Dumped in. Fournier there. Oh, he did really well to get around Schister with the puck there, Fournier. Using his feet to control it. Bump comes in from Ferrara. McNamee turns, shoots. Oh, it was sticked away. The Blaze might have an odd man rush. Ferrara at the end of a shift. Picks it up. Stop, shoots. Saved by Ben Bounds, and he will lean on it. Not totally comfortable. And, well, I've got to say, the Skydome is making a bit of noise in support of the Blaze, but this is infinitely better from Cardiff.
Yeah, much better from the Devils than the first period. Lots of pressure coming forward, wave after wave. But the Blaze break out. They do a good bit of transition play, and it was a clever shot from Luke Ferrara as well, as he kind of cuts in from the left wing and then goes short side to try and confuse Ben Bounds a little bit, thinking that he might be going far pad. Yeah, and he really needed to just get that on net anyhow, and make sure Ben Bounds had to freeze it. Both teams needed a face-off and a change, and the Blaze have this in the zone as a result. Blued off. Poke checked aggressively. Puck ends up at the half wall with McNamee. Hashi keeps it alive. It ends up into the netting, and we'll have a stoppage. That third Blaze goal was scored by number 44, Drew Schister, timed at 22:48, assisted by number 88, Charles Corcoran, and number 19, Luke Ferrara, the Blaze second power play goal of the evening, making them 2 from 4 this evening.
Yeah, that's good. 2 power play goals last night. This is an area where I think the Blaze were last in power play last season, so this is a good sign for them early, as Bounds will watch this face off to the right of him. Won by the Devils. Myers is very good in the dot. I've always thought that Matt Myers is one of the best face-off takers in the Elite League. And he wins a big one there. Puck ends up with Justin Hashi. Takes a tight route behind the net. Shrugged off Sean Longley as a result, and Hashi's going to get into the offensive zone here too. Eventually hit by Mark Lewis. Corcoran keeps his hands off Richardson, which was wise, and that one is pinballing around awkwardly under the feet of Chris Polkamp, who kept it well. Corcoran's going to step in. On the backhand, oh, Hashi has an empty net! Shoots into the chest of Bounds, who arrived out of nowhere. It looked like he'd got bogged down in the butterfly, but was able to recover. And Hashi can only find the Devils logo, as Matt Myers has picked up a nice pass. He shoots, blocked away by Jamie Phillips. Batch arrived. The rebound came off Hamannik's skate, which could have caused some problems, but didn't. He gets hit. He's unable to clear the zone. Big bump comes in on Mario Maki. Batch throws the body on Larkinen. And the Devils showing a lot better signs here in this second period. After, they conceded on the power play, things have changed in their favour. But now they've got to find a way to beat Jamie Phillips, get that red light lit, and start to come back into this game on the scoreboard, as well as just in terms of the play. They might hear, a hard one timing from Myers, a little wild, as he popped his tyre as he did it, and Coventry might come the other way. Larkinen onto the puck with Polkamp in support. Polkamp, a stick check from Jardine. Penalty called. It was a great source of pass from Larkinen. The hooking is going to be the call. And Matt Polkamp's eyes lit up as his stick's taken away here. Oh, blimey.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the stick tied up, but he's also got the feet as well, and pretty much pulls him down from behind. And another easy call for the referees to make, but this time it's a penalty that the Devils had to take there.
100%. You know, Polkamp had 21 goals last year, split between the South Carolina Stingrays and the Reading Royals. He knows where the net is. And he's able to draw a penalty, if not get the Blaze fourth of the night. As Charles Corcoran will line up for this draw. Big opportunity for Coventry here. If they can get a fourth halfway through this game, as we have 10 minutes gone in the second period, that's looking good for them. It's not over by any means, but they can really exercise control and try and do what they want to do and have a bit of a buffer. The Schistel drops it off. Larkinen just hanging on. Schistel has a little bit of space here. Fakes the shot. Looks to try and skate it himself here, Drew Schistel, the former American League All-Star. Corcoran. Space for Janne Larkinen. Thought about going with the aggressive play. Pulled out. Source pass to Ferrara, who popped a tyre. Whistle will go, as I think it's underfed somewhere, and a bit of a vulnerable position to be in, lying flat on your face with the puck in your nether regions.
Yeah, safety first from the referees there. It's finished in Belfast. Belfast 3, Nottingham 0. It's also finished in Sheffield. The Sheffield Steelers 3, Glasgow Clan 4. So a good 4-point weekend for the Clan. It's end of the second period. Dundee 2, Manchester 1, and it's just started in Guildford. Guildford 1, 5-0.
Yep, face off in the neutral zone. Johnston for the Blaze. He wins it away from Haddad from the Devils. Curran. Somehow, Johnny Curran sneaks in. David Broll will shoot off the arm of the goalie. Oh, and backhanded wide by Curran on the empty net. Well, the goal judge put the light on. But somehow, Johnny Curran unable to get the Blaze fourth. But that was a huge shot across the bows of the Devils. Ashy keeps it moving. Matt Polkamp. One-timer from Curran, low. Oh, off Broll's skate. Backhands it around the boards. Much better from the Blaze. Here's Curran again. Try to send it through traffic. Richardson blocked it. Johnston's going to grab this at the boards. 35 seconds after the power play. Here's Hashi. Steps onto it. Curran's got the hammer cocked. Ends it back with Johnston. Fans on it. Keeps going though. Sends it low to the net front. Oh, Hashi's been beaten with his feet. There's going to be a whistle as the Devil played it with a high stick. Yeah. Oh, and a couple of big shots across the Devil's bows, too.
Yeah, one so close that the goal judge behind the net thought it had gone in, but the puck was wide out to the left of the goal by that point. So a very good power play shift from the Coventry Blaze on that last one.
And again, you know, the success came when they kept it simple. They had a big roll in front of net there, Curran arriving as a secondary, and he had his back to the net when he threw the backhanded towards it. It's kind of a little disorientating, but you know, a lot of the time those do just end up in. Blaze are able to win that face-off. Bludorf. Straight back for Schistel. Clements. Into the corner for Luke Ferrara. Back for Clements. Nice feed for Schistel. Shooting. Oh, it came off the pads of the netminder bounds. Blaze keep the zone as the Devils about to full strength. 8 minutes to go in the period. Jardine. Fresh off the pine. Pass ahead of Mario Maki. Gets poke checked handsomely by Clements. Gets hit hard by McNamee. And McMonagle will send this one to the goal line. Two Devils wipe each other out. The net comes off its moorings, which wipes Phillips out, and there's a whistle. That was a bit of a comical moment.
Yeah, a bit of a messy finish there to that shift. Everybody got a bit tangled up in around the Blaze net. And now, if anything, it will probably suit the Blazers. They'll be able to reset their lines properly after that power play shift and get the right personnel out there.
Yeah, face-off will come to the left of Phillips. McNamee standing over this for the Devils. Won by the Blaze. Corcoran winning that draw. Chips along the line by Chris Polkamp. Fournier pinches in. Hamannik leaning on Pope. Puck's still there though. Fournier hammers one, gloved by Phillips. On target from Gleason Fournier with a bit of a no-looker. But the Blaze putting pressure on the puck carrier at all times means the Devils have to just throw one on net and reset.
Throw one on net and reset as well, and they're trying their best to keep the Devils to the perimeter as well. They're not getting too much in away from grade A chances in around the sort of the slot and closer into the net.
Yeah, which Danny Stewart will be happy with as Charles Longley peels off that face-off. His chance comes off a steer because he was trying to centre it again into the netting, and we'll have another stoppage. And that's something the Blaze will just need to keep doing in terms of their man-to-man pressure, making sure the puck carrier, you know, can't sneeze without someone being there.
Yeah.
To give him a tissue.
I mean, we've mentioned on previous webcasts where we've spoken about how good the Cardiff Devils play. They get themselves back, their face turned towards the net, and they're always looking. And, you know, at least if there's a man in their face constantly, that means they got a bit of pressure in them.
Yeah, it's all about, you know, your movement off the puck. And a lot of the time, the eyes are drawn to, you know, the fancy stuff with a puck carrier. But you know, 9 times out of 10, it's what goes on away from it that's key. As Cardiff will send a man to the net, puck to the net as well now from Longley. Picked up by Ferrara. Hashi under pressure. Charles Longley doing a great job here, harassing Hashi. But the Blaze are able to clear the zone. Corcoran has Ferrara and Bludoff in support. That one just got away from Evan Bludoff. Hashi's going to pick up the loose stuff, though. Shovels it back in. His forwards are wanting to change. And the Devils send a long pass that will end up being icing. Hey, you know what I talked about a minute ago, Stu, about the Blaze wanting to, you know, be within sneezing distance to hand a tissue to the Cardiff Devils puck carrier. If anyone has a tissue, man, my nose is going like crazy here. So if I get a bit sniffy, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologise, and I don't think it's contagious to anyone more than about 5 or 6 yards away. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, bit of a problem there, but we'll deal with it.
Yeah. Face off to the right of Ben Bounce, bringing the Scottish germs down from north of the wall. Won by Lawrence nice and cleanly. Hamonic shoots low, blocker save. Lawrence back into action with the puck. Curran gets hit hard as he tries to make that play. Venus with a spinorama. Puck there for Curran! Oh, he took it from the skate to the blade. Pulled the trigger, just went wide of the target. Would have been nice from old Johnny Curran, who missed the empty netter on the backhand earlier. Blaze peeling away. Oh, excuse me, Forbes. Need a wipe for the glasses as well as a tissue for the nose. 41 and 14. Pardon me. Oh, fanned attempted pass from Blaze defenseman there as Alex Forbes, not Johnny Curran, will pick that up and chip that in. Jardine behind the net. Forbes pops his tyre as it's been a good shift from him. Here's Myers shooting, just wide of the net with Massi Mariamaki heading into action as Coventry take it away with Larkinen ahead of Johnston. He's got his feet moving, drops it off. Chris Polkamp keeps it moving, chance! And they score Johnston on the doorstep! Tic-tac-toe for the Blaze, and they go 4 up against the Devils. Andrew Johnston right from in the blue paint with no one near him.
That is a fantastic offensive move by the Coventry Blaze. They couldn't have drawn it up any better than that. The puck is moved from player to player with quick succession. Johnston spearheading. And we see Chris Polkamp making the dish off onto the right wing, and then straight across, like you say, Andrew Johnston in the blue paint. Only Sam Jardine, but not close enough.
Yeah, I think Bentivolio was covering for the right side of defence there, so when he pinched up hard into the mid-slot, it left a whole great big gaping bit of ice for Andrew Johnston to exploit. And you see Jardine arriving late, can't do anything to stop a goal from Johnston as he gets hit hard from behind, and no call on that play. They will continue. Matt Polkamp with one of the assists. I think it might have been his brother with the other. Hashi will shoot just wide of the glove of Ben Bounds as one of the Blaze blew out a tire quite comically and nearly wiped out 3 of the Devils. It's not the Blaze Booster Club bowling night just yet, ladies and gentlemen, as Reddick will chip that one along the line. Came off a body and he'll have to reset. Josh Batch will get to this puck first, ahead of Larkinen. Gets bumped by the Finn, as Mark Lewis will pick this up. Hammers on hard off Chris Polkamp. Jamie Phillips took a bit of Josh Batch's body as he watched that one go by him, as Ferrara's going to try and lug this one north. Forced to dump it in. Rimmed it right off the ledge. David Broll jumps into action, but the Cardiff Devils are able to bring it out. Chipped in by McNamee. Phillips pads it aside. McNamee off the backboards. Duggan again sends it round the back of the net. 4 minutes to go in the period. Blaze can't clear. Duggan will chip it in over the top of a very valiant effort from David Clements to jump up and grab it. Cardiff have possession though. Lewis shooting, blocked away by Phillips, bumped again by Sam Duggan as Devils are just showing that they're sending a man right to the net front every time there's a puck going towards the goalie. And that will eventually pay off for them, you feel, as Haddad drops it in behind the net. Dixon to Mark Lewis. He shoots once more, staved by the goalie. Jamie Phillips doing what he needs to do here, and a good shift from Lewis. Puck hits his stick, puck's off his stick towards the goal. And that's 3 or 4 shots he's had on this shift where it doesn't matter, he's just trying it. Chance for a long lay on the back door if he can get the pass. Doesn't materialise. Coventry can come away with it. Ferrara able to dodge a hit from McNamee. Kind of came out his blind side as he calls a change on the fly for Curran. 3 minutes to go in the period. Longley, a little chip ahead of the left wing. It doesn't come off for the Devils, and Coventry nearly were able to turn that into a chance. Dixon sends one in. Came off a stick into the netting, and we'll have a stoppage. I've been very, very impressed with the home team here tonight, so I've got to say.
Playing very well, found themselves 4 goals up. The 4th goal scored at 34-38 by number 61, Andrew Johnston, assisted by number 21, Chris Polkamp, and number 11, Matt Polkamp.
Yeah, and you know, Matt Polkamp beavering away tonight. He's been in and around the action. Chris Polkamp, very, very underrated in terms of his offensive production. You know, out of Bowling Green State University, played with his brother for a couple of years, and I think it was 9 goals, 10 assists for him last year, but you know, very, very creative player. He looks like a little bit to me like Kevin Noble with a lot more offensive upside, a little bit better skating ability, and a little bit better hockey IQ. No disrespect to Kevin. He's a very talented first-year pro. Pucks ended up on the net again, stopped by bounce from a bad angle. Schistel dumps it in hard. Blaze were offside though, as Larkinen, fresh off the bench, has to step one side of the blue line. Yeah, the Blaze have gone young in terms of their recruitment this year. 3 first-year pros, as Johnston just about kept that alive in the offensive zone. Myers took it away. Fournier one-handed takes the pass, shoots hard into the chest of Jamie Phillips. And Blaise Fournier led the defenseman last year in all scoring categories. Goals, assists, points. And this shot came from nothing. And look how much zip he puts on it.
Yeah. Just quick flick of the wrist. He's using the defenseman in front of him as a bit of a screen to see if he can get Jamie Phillips a little bit unsighted, but works the opportunity well and forces the offensive zone face-off.
Yeah, he looks quite nicely settled into this game at the minute, Phillips. And, you know, the Devils have tried to send bodies in and around his crease, buzzing him like wasps around a nest, and he just doesn't seem flapped by it. You know, he's had a couple of bumps, and he's just got right back to the office and doing what he needs to do. Larkinen gets bumped by Jardine as he chips it in. Matt Polkamp trying to swarm Reddick. Puck ends up back in the Blaze hands. Larkinen spinning. Oh, a lovely pass from Janne Larkinen. Blaze have it. Chris Polkamp sends it to the goal line. His brother was waiting. Didn't control the puck though. And the Devils should be able to clear, and they do, with Chris Polkamp in a race with Masi Mariamaki. Chris Polkamp able to deal with it. It was bobbling on him, and the Blaze have drawn a penalty here as well. Well, that seemed a bit of a soft one, whatever it is, but Blaze will take it. Johnson across the line. Oh, Larkinen started to drop it off so the Blaze can set up. Johnston spins away from Mariamaki. David Broll's headed to the net front area where he's kind of camped out. Hamannik drops it across. Play will continue. Larkinen chips it off a skate. It's touched up eventually. Coventry on the power play. And I can only, it's a slashing, and I'm just assuming it was when the forecheckers were harrying Chris Polkamp.
And just looking to see who he's called for that.
Mariamaki.
I didn't see that. That seems to be a bit of a soft one for me.
Yeah, he doesn't look too happy either. He draws a reaction from block 3 behind that goal, behind that penalty box, excuse me. Yeah. Lemsid would be nice instead of the usual cup of tea in the period break. Face off to the right of bounds. Blaze have managed to score twice on the power play tonight. A third here, I think, might even get a smile out of Dale Keane, and Danny Stewart, the Dallas Scotsman. As Duggan will clear that away. Jamie Phillips steps out to play it. 45 seconds to go in the period. Phillips waiting to the last second before playing that puck under pressure from Haddad. Here's Corcoran. Looks up, gets into the zone, pulls up, just about kept alive by Schistel. had to chip it and kind of glove it. Oh, a lovely bit of moves from Larkin. Corcoran sets it down. Oh, he just got too much elevation on it. Nice idea from Yanni Larkin with the feed. Corcoran picks his back up, sends it to the back door. It's cleared away by Devil. 10 seconds to go in the period. Corcoran has somehow got this forward. Larkinen tried to make a play with a pass with time a factor. The Blaze will start the third on the power play with 4 goals in the pocket, and this is much better from Coventry.
Much better from Coventry. The best 40 minutes that they've put together in the Skydome so far this season by a long, long way.
Agreed. And it's everything's simple. Everything they do is simple.
And you're absolutely right. They have simplified their game down. It's been direct to the net. They've been throwing pucks from pretty much all angles just to see what they can get in there.
And when you complicate stuff, the more extra bits and bobs you do, the more there is to go wrong. And at this stage of the season where everybody's kind of getting to know everybody, they have a massive turnover in playing staff once again. Keeping it simple. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome back to the Skydome Arena here in Coventry ahead of the third period of tonight's Challenge Cup fixture between the Blaze and the Devils. 4-0 in favour of the home team after the first two periods in somewhat of a surprise scoreline, Stu, it must be said.
Yeah, somewhat of a surprise storyline. You'd be expecting, you know, the Devils to come back hard after their defeat last night against the Clan. The Blaze have not been in the greatest of form to start the season, but yet here we stand 40 minutes into this Challenge Cup game, and it's 4-0 to Coventry.
Yeah, and the Blaze were coming into this fixture off a 4-game losing streak, so, you know, to be up 4-0 going into the third is going to do them a world of good in terms of their confidence to get a victory. And they start this period on the power play, of course. 1 minute and 6 seconds left in the Mario Maki slashing minor. Blaze already have 2 power play goals on the night. It has looked quite good on the man advantage. So, yeah, I think I was joking with Nick Stroganoff, who usually does Coventry Blaze Live. I was like, I've seen the team in blue and white play, and they've been a bit hit and miss. Who are the guys in black tonight? They're kind of good. He didn't get it. I was like, oh, come on, Nick, help me out. Maybe if I'd have tweeted to him, he'd have got it. I don't know. But hello to Nick. And a big hello and a get well soon to Kaylee Mott. We sent hello to Sam, but Kaylee's a little under the weather, so we're sending you all the well wishes that we have on Blaze TV. Has provided some much needed support throughout the last couple of seasons when we've needed it, so thank you, Kaylee. We hope you do better soon as the Blaze swamp that face off to get us back underway. Blew it off straight into the zone, drops it off. She's still fighting for it in the feet of the referee as he's chased out by Myers. He'll spin in behind the net, and Blaze will bring it up this right wing side. Janne Laakkonen, nice crisp pass across. Rudolph dumps it off the boards. Ferrara, oh, it sprung awkwardly in front of him. Oh, a nice bit of hand-eye from the Finn Laakkonen, but his efforts were rewarded with zilch. And the Blaze have to pick it up back behind their own goal. Cardiff will change. There's a big giveaway from Schistel to Dixon. Teammates last season, unfortunately not this one, as that one's pinged off the glass and out as the Devils should see out the rest of this penalty kill. 12 seconds to go in it. Blaze are going to come north in transition, however. 1 shot left. If they can pull the trigger, that's played out as far as Hamannik in the neutral zone. And that's a good start to the period for the Cardiff Devils. Get that kill sorted, nailed on, and then get back to work going north. I'm trying to eat into this Blaze lead. No icing on that play. Hashi, there's a bit of a bump in the corner there. Haddad arriving too. The whistle goes as that one's secure enough against the boards for the referee to blow the whistle. Weirdly as well, Stu, you're going to Sweden tomorrow. We were talking about Cardiff kebab houses just before that period started.
Yes, because of my time at university there.
Yeah.
I lived in Cardiff for 4 years before moving to Coventry, spent a fair time in the kebab house in and around the Cathays area.
Yeah. If anyone can recommend any for our next trip to Cardiff, feel free to let us know. Particularly if they're a Devils sponsor. Feel free to drop that one in there. There's a bit of forechecking from Johnston. Slows the Devils' progress, but they're going to come north now. Chipped in by Haddad. What comes off the backboards? Hashi will only be able to find a Devil at the half wall. Shot from the slot comes in, and nice play from Cardiff. Blaze deal with it. Venus will chase this in on the backboards. Ends up on the stick of Johnston, who's trying to chip it out the feet of that Cardiff Devils winger. Fournier is going to flick this one ahead. Oh, again, Johnston with his hand-eye coordination. Venus steps around McMonagle, holds on, tries to gift it to the net front area where Matt Polkamp was waiting. He battles with Fournier. Puck ends up on the stick of Myers, and he will give the Devils a breather. They can change that unit. With Jardine coming on as the defenseman. Matt Pope sprung out there as the extra forward. Here's Josh Batch. Wrist shot, gloved away by Phillips, right off the tip of the glove. And then that one hacked off the frame of the goal from a poor angle. The unmistakable sound of vulcanized rubber hitting metal for all to hear. That one cleared out by the Blaze, or is it? As it's a battle along the boards, it's kept alive according to the linesman. Josh Batch, bit of a size mismatch with Chris Polkamp as he Went a bit risky, playing that one in front of his own net. No danger as David Broll puts the stick on Jardine. Curran with a poke check off Reddick. I'll never forget that kind of spinning between the legs pass of Bryce Reddick last season to set up Charles Longley. One of the highlight goals of the year. Phenomenal. As Hamonic battles for this one, ties up the stick of Mario Macchi and away come the Blaze. David Broll leading the charge. Schistel's headed to the net. Broll hammers one into the glove of bounds and he will hang on.
Broll picked up a goal from there early in pre-season as well, getting the one-timer from that, pretty much that same spot. Gets good contact with that shot there. Schistel is following in there, looking for more rebounds. Good stick lift as well by the defenseman there, just making sure that Ben Bounds has got a good opportunity to make sure he takes that puck.
Yeah, he likes that shot low glove from just inside the hash marks from their Broll, and that time denied by Bounds as Rudolph lifts the stick of Richardson. Oh, and well, he lifts up the skates of Massimo Yamaki, and the Coventry Blaze will take their first minor penalty of the night. As Richardson drops that off. Dixon, nice feed off to the forehand of Richardson. He feeds Bentivolio. A little poke check from Curran, preventing a good scoring chance for Cardiff. 4 minutes into the period. Fournier keeps it in and alive, and the Devils are going to work this to the net front. Swing and a miss from Stephen Dixon on a bobbling puck. Blaze touch it up, and finally we get to see the Devils power play. Usually among the league leaders, Stu.
Usually among the league leaders. They've got some very key pieces on that power play. Gleason Fournier particularly does very well on that, running that power play. We'll wait to see who they send out on that first shift. Certainly Charles Longley and Stephen Dixon looking to be key parts there, and it is indeed Fournier playing left defence.
A little bit of useless trivia, but something I've just noticed. Tom Perring's changed his number. He used to wear 41, wears 3 now, but hey ho. Here's Fournier shooting off the backboards with a battle in front between McNamee and Phillips. Blaze will clear. Defenseman in there was Hashi, paired with Chris Polkamp on this defensive unit on the penalty kill. Long stretch pass off the heel of Longley, and he's offside as a result. And that will be just a face-off in the neutral zone with a minute 39 remaining of this Devils' first power play of the night.
Some scores from around the league. The Dundee Stars and the Manchester Storm. It's getting close there towards the end of the game. 18 minutes into the third period, it's 4-3 to Dundee. And just at the start of the second period, it's Guildford 2, Fife 1.
Ooh, tight game between Guildford and Fife. Fife look good again this year, Stu. 2 big wins against the Blaze. They attack well from wide. A few big wingers in there, and Dutiem uses them well in his systems. Gauthier looks like he's, well, he is fresh out of this season. He played in Australia over the summer, of course, and had 2 points a game there, a goal a game. Very, very good player.
As did the Crowders as well. Both Crowder brothers played over in Australia this year, and they were very, well in the points in that league. I know it's not the greatest of standards there. I mean, it's kind of like NIHL.
Yeah,
plus.
More or less.
Yeah.
I mean, Ross Venus played in New Zealand as well.
Yeah, but there's there's a few good players lurking around. But I think we saw it last year with Ross Venus when he came and started at the start of the year. He really did benefit from that summer over there, and it seems like guys like the Crowders and Gauthier have done the same as well. Yeah,
I mean, if you're able to kind of stay out of any injury problems while you're out there, it's essentially a free vacation where you get to play a bit of puck too. As that one comes off the stick of Venus, ends up back with the Devils on the goal line. So trying to work this in short side. Bentivolio back to the half wall. Shot comes in, short side, rebound, and the Devils get one. Muscle over the line, I think, by Sean Bentivolio. And Cardiff on the board. Their only power play attempt of the night as we look again.
Puck comes in from the right, just gets it past Schistel. Gets a beast of Jamie Phillips, and then it's just bundled over the line. There's about 2 Devil sticks there. Bentivolio, Jardine and Myers all in and around there to wait to see who they give that credit to.
Yeah, again, it's a little bit like ice cream. The flavours are relevant. They did all the right things on that play. Swamped the net front, put pucks in low, crowded Phillips, and we're able to light the lamp for the first time tonight, and we'll put that up on our scoreboard in a second. There we go. They have given it to Sean Bentivolio, assisted by Myers. As Clements will start things up back in the Blaze zone. Johnson, oh, he chipped it. Oh, he got hit hard into the penalty box doors by Dixon. Just heard that unmistakable boom of bodies colliding and boards involved in the mix as well. As Dixon throws another big hit, this time on Hashi, and that one sprung right out to the slot as the Devils making a late charge here in this period. Hit comes in from Bentivolio. Led by him and Dixon, it must be said. Sean Bentivolio with a goal. Dixon has been a bit of a wrecking ball in this shift, as there's a chance maybe for Mariamaki to the back door where her dad was arriving. Here is Marcy Mariamaki to the goal line. McNamee thought about the wraparound, got around Clements, but is now seated firmly on his backside, who is also able to play the puck. Great play from him. Sends it to the point. Reddick keeps it alive. A crowd is gathering at the net as all three Devils forwards were anticipating a shot from Reddick. It never arrived, and now the Blaze are going to try and get out of the zone with the puck. Speed from Johnston. He's stripped, and now McNamee's going to come forward again. End-to-end stuff here. Mike McNamee to Longley, poked away by Hamonic as it was bobbling. There's McMonagle. Some speed, plays it off the frame of the net back to himself. 7 minutes having gone in the third period. Fournier, bit of space, shoots wide of the net. A chance on the wraparound, padded away by Phillips, and he's able to keep it there, and some pushing and shoving. Jamie Phillips not very happy that he got swiped at. And I don't think that's exchanging recipes down there in the blue paint. I think that'll be a Matt Myers special, though, if it was a recipe. He's always sniffing around the net for an area stick. Yeah,
absolutely. One of the things he does very well. A big presence in and around the net, always digging around the goalie to see if he can get any loose pucks. I think it was certainly the first prod with the stick was absolutely legal. The whistle hadn't gone. Maybe the second one was a bit late, but to be brutally honest, the whistle hadn't gone. If there's anyone to kind of look at there, maybe the referee should have blown it a little quicker, but I think Phillips and the Blaze are only going to stand up for themselves at this point.
Yeah, and they've started to do things that they've not been able to do much tonight, and that's just get pucks in deep, get bodies in and around Phillips, and make his life a living nightmare tonight as a couple of bumps come in. David Broll, Chris Polkamp, and Luke Ferrara in there as Broll ends up with the puck, and he will send that one long. It looked like he lost his feet at one point, and the Skydome Arena were appealing for a penalty not given, and instead it will be a defensive zone draw.
I think he just lost his edge more than anything else.
Yeah, it's always difficult to judge, when there's sticks flying around and pucks in close proximity to a load of bodies. All it takes is someone to take a stumble and you end up with a power play.
Yeah, I know. I think he was turning at the same point as well, trying to pick the puck up, and it just, the balance and speed didn't quite work for him in that instance.
Yes, as long as he didn't tread on the puck, that's always extremely embarrassing. As Ferrara will send this one along the board side, and Fournier will do enough to throw another icing the length of the ice and to the right of Phillips. It'll be interesting to see what the Devils can do for the remainder of this game. They've started to eat into this lead now with that power play marker.
Just giving them a bit of momentum. They've really pressed hard, led by Stephen Dixon, and particularly in this face-off there. So they've started a charge.
Yeah, and importantly, correct me if I'm wrong, they haven't taken a penalty this period yet. They started short-handed, but that was a penalty taken in the second.
Yeah, they had a minute and 5 left over from the penalty from Mayamaki just before the end of the second period. But no, it's the only 2 instances in the game sheet for this period is the one Blaze penalty and the one Devils goal.
No, thank you, Stu. As that face-off won by Cardiff, Fournier taking it along the board side. Watched by Drew Schisto, sends it to the net front, and Phillips has got it. Mariamaki headed straight to the danger zone. David Broll on hand for a cuddle. And this is where the Blaze have got to make sure that their netminder is protected, because if the Devils are going to keep sending pucks there, as is their right, and bodies following, as is their right, they are going to want to try and get in the netminder's grill a little bit here, and the D, I think, just need to steal up a little bit and make sure he's protected.
And I think that's what David Broll was doing there. He steps across, didn't really do anything other than hold Mayamaki in a couple of strong words to the Devils forward. But There wasn't much more in it, but it is that kind of presence more than anything else.
Yeah. Blades are able to win that face-off in the defensive zone. Hamonic touches it along the wall, and McMonagle ahead of Corcoran, although I think Hamonic's eyes have lit up. He races into action here. Dumps it in behind the net. Corcoran, oh, he spins around his defenseman. Gets hit hard by Dixon, though. Dixon with a great check. Corcoran's helmet comes off. He has to get rid of it, get to the bench. Curran, meanwhile, has still got possession for the Blaze. Some fancy hands from Johnny Curran. Spins around Fournier. And again, twisting and turning. Sends it to the point. Schistel. He will play the puck behind the goal line. Oh, he tried to find Johnston. Curran drives one low, blocked on the way through by Gleaston Fournier. Shot again from Schistel, sticked out of danger by one of the defensemen. And Bentivolio will chip and chase with Drew Schistel in tow. Help arriving. Schistel's blowing his edge. The puck's free. And Charles Longley couldn't quite grab it to wrap it around on a sprawling Phillips. Put pinballs into the corner. McNamee has it. There's a tussle between Bentivolio and Hamonic in front of the net. Hamonic eventually regains his stick, just as the Devils regain the puck. That was good timing. Well, if you're a Blaze fan, that is. If you're a Devil, there was maybe an opportunity that just got away. And Sam Jardine picks it up with just over 10 minutes to go in the third period. Blaze lead by 3 goals now, 4-1. Here's Haddad. Nice drop off. Shot comes in hard up high from Longley. The Blaze might be able to chip this out the zone, although good work from the forward. Haddad gets in there. Longley ends up in an uncomfortable situation along the boards, and there'll be a whistle on that play as I think Yanni Larkinen's stick got up high, caught a Devil. Haddad wants to show a little bit of blood for maybe a 2+2, and oh, Cardiff creeping in late here.
Yeah, and it is to the referee there, confirmed with the linesman. I think we're going to see a double minor here for Larkinen.
That's going to be a big moment in this game. You know, the Devils 100% on the power play. Didn't take them long into the chance that they had when Bentivolio scored. I think we're going to see much of the same from Cardiff. They're going to swamp the net front. They're going to try and work this in below the hash marks. Well, they have just announced it was just a straight up 2, but
they haven't. I thought I saw 2+2 from the linesman to the referee, but maybe I misread that. So
I guess we'll see in 2 minutes, Stu, or less if the Devils are able to score. Puck at the point. Shot comes in. Oh, I thought that would in. Somehow it came off Phillips and in, but it didn't. Just fell the wrong side if you're a Devils fan of the goal line. Haddad sweeps it back to the point. Jardine, wrist shot, blocked on the way through, I think of Hashi. Budoff is able to clear. And McMonagle pick things up in his own zone. Jardine. Budoff on the forecheck. And here comes Sam Jardine. Poke check by Chris Polkamp. Nice anticipation from the youngster. He will go to the bench for a change with Drew Schistel. Alex Forbes out there too. He's had a very, very good night tonight, Alex Forbes, including a shift where I thought he was Johnny Curran. Here come the Devils with some speed. Ends up with Dixon. Slap shot low, came off the pad of Phillips, and the Blaze will just throw that one clear. Sent long by Bounds. Pope drops it off. Longley. Fournier, stick handling in tight, behind the goal line. Is Matt Pope. Chance for Longley, to the back door! And they don't score! Off the inside of the pipe! Oh my goodness! Let's take a look again!
The puck's worked out round well from the Devils, finding the open man. Matt Pope sends it back to the left wing. Longley cross ice, all the way across to the right wing, and then just straight off the post.
Wow, unbelievable.
Net open there.
Oh, blimey. And the Devils came literally within inches of scoring their second power play goal of the night and cutting this lead in half. And that's just hockey, you know, it can be a game of inches. Puck behind the goal line, poke check from Schistel. Pope fighting for it, as is McNamee, and the Blaze are able to clear. Picked up by Ben Bounds, touches it down for Fournier. Devils have their tail up here, Stu. You know, it's been a good third period for them so far. Myers touches it down. Blaze are back to full strength. So it was just a single minor for the high stick. Oh, and Larkinen's picked it straight up out of the box. Larkinen finds a chance for Johnston. Rebounds right there. It's trickled in. Waved off. Excuse me, it was Corcoran diving for it. I think there's going to be a review. Corcoran shrugging off the back check. He bumps Bounds. Puck looks like it trickled in, but I think Corcoran took a huge piece of the goalie, which quite clearly played a part in that effort.
Yeah, certainly the referee was indicating about contact in the crease as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's gone in, but I think the referee's made the right call there. I don't think that's going to count because he's clearly taken a piece of him as he's gone past.
I mean, even from here, you can see there's blue paint between Ben Bounds' leg pads.
They are going to take a look at it, though. Well, at least they're going to have a conversation about what happened.
I mean, I've got to catch up on my shows. They can let that one go. No, I mean, look, you need to review these. You know, any time.
I think the first sensible thing to do is just to talk to all the people, the officials that were in and around the area, see what everybody says. If everybody says they saw the same thing, then you know, 4 pairs of eyes all see the same, and I think that's probably what they're going to say. Yeah, no goal.
I mean, the thing is, again, look, no goal or not, the Blaze have done exactly the right thing. If they picked up a loose puck, they've sent a body straight to the net for an area. They've caused problems for the Devils. They've caused chaos, and a massive scoring chance.
A massive scoring chance. Puck was free. It has, you know, kind of maybe crossed the line and gone in. Maybe not. Maybe there was a bit of the goalie taken as on the way.
Yeah. Well, it was definitely a piece of the goalie taken on the way. A big piece. Johnston will stand over this one. Unable to win that draw. Big defensive zone win from Stephen Dixon, who incidentally has been my Devils man of the match by quite some way. I think he's been absolutely fantastic tonight. The former Wolfsburg Grizzly Adams forward. Mario Macchi lands a hit at one end of the ice as Matt Polkamp tries to strip Jardine of possession of the, Richardson of possession of the other. Things are settled down by the Devils as both Bentivolio and Mario Macchi, interestingly, were cruising in the Blaze offensive zone for a second there with the puck kind of 180 odd feet away.
Kind of stifled the Devils' break out there with the 2 players up so high. They were looking for the long pass, but it couldn't be received because they were in an offside position.
Yeah.
Then by the time they skated out, the pass had come and it's gone for an icing.
Yeah, it was really weird. I mean, in a breakout, if you're a team as disciplined and structured as the Devils, you want as many breakout options as possible. Again, the longer the pass, the more that can go wrong with it. And if that one outlet option is covered by a forechecker, you know, you only have to throw a second forechecker in and everybody's covered. A bit of a strange one for me. I wouldn't expect the Devils doing that very much this season, as that one's dumped in by Mario Macchi. Dixon will lean on his man, nearly had a shot, but David Clements was there to prevent an attempt. And the Blaze will come north. Ferrara tips that one in. Him and Fournier will go into the boards together. Puck won by the former Calder Cup winner. And Matt Pope is now getting his feet moving. Pope got a lot of speed. Pope sticked away by Phillips. Puck's pinballed around behind him. And that pass just away from Monagolu. Ends up having to back out into his own zone under pressure from Dylan Lawrence, who, wow, forces Bounds to cover the puck up. Great. Unusual stuff.
Great pressure from Dylan Lawrence there, capitalising on a very much a broken play. Puck there just gets poked away. Alert Ben Bounds there, because that could have just quite easily slipped through the 5-hole and ended up in the back of the net.
Well, we've seen weirder, put it that way. To Twitter, Stu.
To Twitter. Hi to Kat Greenway this evening, who she says is, and I'm quoting here, "We are losing our shistle watching the match tonight. Amazing game so far."
Brilliant. I wish I could award gold stars for tweets, but that was superb. Is that a gif of someone sliding on their head?
Yeah, it's some good gif action as well.
Yeah, I like the good gif. Except on WhatsApp when they save to your gallery and you have to trawl through hundreds to find the pictures you want. Anyway, Jardine shrugs off Curran. Approaching the 14-minute mark of this period. Bit of a bump comes in from McNamee. Buda throws a bump on Jardine. Batch will start things up with a nice touch pass to Reddick. Longley stick handles into the zone. Oh, he's hit hard by Hashi. No nonsense stuff. Hashi then gets hit by Josh Batch, and Blaze escape with possession. Corcoran. Looks like he tried to drop it off to the wing. It got away from him though, and Devils take it back into their own zone. Reddick tosses a pass, gets a change. 5.5 minutes remain. Blaze have a 3-goal cushion. But one from the Devils sooner rather than later will make them feel a little nervous as a little bump comes in from Johnston. Puck around the boards. Schisto. A hard backhander, doesn't escape Myers. He gets crushed into the boards. No penalty. Play will continue. There was a similar one on Johnston in the second period, which I thought was very borderline, and that was too.
I'd have called that as a penalty.
Yeah, I would have too.
That's a boarding call every day of the week for me. The Blaze of escape there.
Yeah, let's look one more time. Oh, can we? Oh, thank you.
Nice. Yeah.
He's
about 3-4 feet from the boards. Ended up going in, sort of shoulder head first.
My arm would be up.
Yeah, but you're right. It very similar to the Johnson one. So if the refs aren't calling it, at least they're not calling it both ways.
Yeah, and I didn't see who the Blaze player was, but all it takes is like a size mismatch for that to be a lot more ugly than that was. Clearly, maybe it was Chris Polkamp, a similar size to Myers, but everyone's okay. The Devils don't get a power play, but everyone's got their teeth, and that's kind of all that matters at this point. Is Fournier stick handling, sends it ahead of Mariamaki, spins out with possession. Fournier sends it into the corner. Dixon and Hamonic are all tied up. Puck's there under the toe of the skate of Justin Hamonic. Kind of reached that long limb of his out. Hashi will play it off the backboards to himself. Puck ends up springing into the slot. Oh, a big hit came in from Ferrara on Haddad, whose back was turned, and that will be a penalty. And the Devils, a late power play. Charging is the call, interestingly. Let's take a look again. No, that's not charging. He's at one step. How can you call that charging?
It's not charging, but I think...
From behind, maybe, but...
Yeah, I'd call that as a cross-check.
Let's have a look. Does he cross-check him? I thought he laid into him kind of with his forearm here. No, charging.
But I think the point stands about it doesn't really matter what the flavour is.
Well,
it was a penalty. See, look, he's got his...
No, he buttons him a little and then kind of... Yeah. I think it's ugly. It is probably a penalty, but...
Charging, interference, whatever, it is a penalty.
Yeah. Haddad's not expecting that play. He's got his back turned to Ferrara. Shouldn't have done it, has done it. And the Devils, if they're going to have a late charge to tie this game up late on, this is a good foundation to do it. But we'll see. They are 100% on the power play still? No, they're 50% now. Here's McNamee. Stick handles in to the hash marks. Gets away from him. He pops a tyre. That's Justin Hamonic, who's kind of looming over him, creating a rather large shadow in the corner as stick behind off the lumber of Phillips. Fournier at the half wall. Gets it behind Bludoff. Again, Hamonic arriving. Big bump came in from Dixon. Pope off the skates. Oh, he got Pope checked, and Ben Bounds can pick this up behind his own net as Charles Corcoran arrives and tries desperately to avoid the big man between the pipes. They've already bumped once this period as that one ends up at the feet of McMonagle. He backhands it just wide of Phillips. Blaze will pick that loose puck up and send it long. 3 and a smidgen of seconds to go in the game. 45 seconds left of Devils power play. I was trying to do quick maths, but it failed, needless to say. Jardine will chip and chase. Haddad in support. Chris Polkamp buzzing around looking for that one. Devils have escaped with the puck, though, as they tried to get set up. Ben Bounds has made his way to the bench for the extra man, which is Mariamaki. And he heads straight to the net front. No messing from Mariamaki. No messing from the Devils, although that one came off Forbes. The backhander is heading to and wide of the net. Watched by the defenseman carefully. And I'd like to say very well judged by Mike McNamee as Mariamaki gets around Hamonic. Myers in the corner. Blaze are back to full strength. Just as Forbes is able to pick that puck up, Alex Forbes with the net gaping, scores! And that caps off what's been a great performance from the Blaze. And really for Alex Forbes, I think he's had a superb night. He won't mind it's an empty netter. It's one in the goal column. Well done from him.
Yeah, show some good battling on the penalty kill. Picks up the puck here, and it's sensible. He doesn't just go straight. He looks to create a little bit of space and then just slots it home.
Jamie Phillips went to celebrate with the bench as well. 2 minutes, 10 remaining. Blaze have a 5-goal lead. And the Devils, a devil of a weekend. Oh, a 4-goal lead, excuse me now. Devil of a weekend.
A devil of a weekend indeed. It's not where they wanted to be at all. The Blaze will take some solace, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's very rare that Cardiff come out of a weekend with 0 points. But all you can say, look, it's September. So early on, learn the lessons that you've had in this week.
It's early on. You're missing a couple of key pieces. Let's just take a moment. And it's the cup. There is still they've already got a good start. They won their first 2 games in the competition, so they're able to sort of say, well, we'll chalk this one down, but it's not going to hurt our cup chances significantly at this stage.
Yeah, and it's they've lost 2 massive impact players as well in Riley and Martin going into tonight's game. You're not just looking at a couple of nice depth players on line 3 or 4, captains who have lifted cups in the Elite League and beyond, and guys who very much can just change games in a shift. As Phillips wraps it around the boards, McNamee will chop it into the corner. Fournier approaches and picks it up, dumps it behind the goal line. Chopping shot comes in off David Broll's chest plate, and Josh Batch can pick it up in his own zone. Fournier with a bit of fancy skating will escape. Gets round Broll, gets round Johnston. Hamonic is just about able to wrench it from his grasp. Dixon sends it off a skate. Blaze send a couple of men high, that gets away, and I imagine that'll be icing. And it is.
Man of the match for the Coventry Blaze.
Ooh, Corcoran.
Yeah, Charles Corcoran for me. He's been in and around everything when the Blaze were in the ascendancy in the first 2 periods, getting that 4-goal lead.
Yeah, I think he's got 3 assists on the night as well.
Yeah, if they credit the first goal to him, which they will do eventually, then he's got 3 assists on the night. So for me, Charles Corcoran as well. Yeah. And I'm going to agree with you from your earlier point, Stephen Dixon by a mile for the Devils.
Dixon's been great. Everything the Devils have done well tonight has involved Stephen Dixon. There's a big pad save from Jamie Phillips, and I think it was on that Spit and Chicklets podcast where he said, I just, to be a professional at the highest level I could, I just wanted to do the things that no one else wanted to do, and that was a big feather in his cap tonight. Through the body, regardless of the situation in the game, and came out and did very well. The result hasn't gone the Devils' way. You don't say that very often, as Matt Polkamp might have one last dagger in the heart. Slap shot, blocker save from Ben Bounds. Johnston put it off the skate of Larkinen. He's in the Blaze, trying for one more. There's Chris Polkamp. Over to Schuster. Touchdown for Yanni Larkinen, who ended up passing it back into his own zone. And the Blaze fans are on their feet. The puck, however, I think it's left the playing surface. 10 seconds to go. The Cardiff Devils a goose egg on the weekend. Now this is the thing, and we'll have the post-game interview shortly from Andrew Lord, which will be available via the usual channels. And knowing Andrew, it will just be a very, very frank and honest analysis of the last 48 hours.
I think certainly for tonight's game, the better team has won, and the Devils have been outmatched and outplayed, certainly in the first 40 minutes, and the scoreline reflects it.
Yeah, as David Broll tosses that the length, and that will be all she wrote in this game in the Challenge Cup. The Blaze lost their first outing against the Guildford Flames in this competition, but a win against the Devils here gets them back in the W column after a 4-game losing streak, and it's about time that came to an end. You don't want to lose that many early on.
Yeah, well, about time it came to pass. Malcolm Caldwell's tweeted in and said thoroughly deserved the lead. He said it was a poor Cardiff performance, but as he said before, a team is only as good as the opposition allow them to be.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly right. And we kind of alluded to it earlier. They were chasing the game tonight for pretty much all of the first 40 minutes. clearly they didn't respond very well to that. So that'll be something they really need to look at in terms of what they do in the next few weeks.
I think they'll look at discipline, and they'll look at trying to be a bit more creative in the offensive zone, because they didn't really create, other than on the power play when they looked good on the power play, but 5-on-5 they didn't really look to create any sort of maybe a 2 or 3 at most good opportunities.
And aside from the delay of game on Jardine, all of them are sticking infractions. Hook